Except for Oakdale Bohemia Road, that was the Shellfish Road. That's the one, in part of Pond Road, that was Shell. Ocean Avenue was Todd Road. Locust Avenue was a Todd Road. Church Street was a Todd Road. Hobart Street was Todd. Union Street was Todd. And Sycamore Avenue, I can remember when Sycamore Avenue ended by Hobart Street. It never went further north. And that was Todd only up to Church Street.
Right.
When it was south, it was dirt.
Yeah,
When
same
it went
like
to
Ocean
Pond,
Avenue.
right.
Ocean Avenue.
When it went to Pond Road, that was dirt. Yeah, back of Swantis. And that's all that was Todd. That's all the street there was. But now you got a whole flock of streets in Bohemia. A lot of
Don't even
them.
know where they are.
I don't even know what the names of them are.
When you were little, did you go sleigh riding on Schwander's Hill?
Oh, we used to go sleigh riding in the club there.
In the club with the sand pit?
Yeah,
By the sand
Carvati Sala and
Yeah.
Medicine Street and the
Yeah.
Ball Hill and Joy, yeah.
Yeah,
All those hills there, we used to go sleigh ride down.
yeah.
Yep, when we were kids. Sure, I remember that. We used to go skating all over. I'll tell you, years ago, November 11th, you was already ice skating. That's how cold it got here.
Yeah.
We used to go down to Bear's Pond skating
Skating.
already, November 11th.
Yeah.
Sure,
No, not anymore.
sure.
Not
No more,
anymore. No.
no more.
You have a lot of history. You know a lot of history. I always think I know a lot of, yeah, you know way more than I do.
Well, that's the 20 years.
That's the 20, I'm missing that 20 years span in there.
It'll disappear with me.
No, we got it. We got it now. We got it now. It's not disappearing. No way. No way.
But if you can ever get somebody to,
Well, Judy knows somebody that can do this then.
I've got somebody that can do it. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah.
But someday when we get a chance, Rob says he has a camera that he could take pictures of each page. And then we would have it and you would have yours,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that
know?
would be a good idea.
And we could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she'd have wanted to leave it, so,
Oh, no, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to lose it either if it was mine.
Barney Stateskull tried to get this book in the hardest way. He tried to get it, no way he was gonna get it, the book.
No,
No way.
I would have trouble if it was in my family. believe
By
me.
the way, would you like to have a cup of coffee? And how about some Babovka Bukta?
A buchta would be great.
Well,
Did
that's
you make a
what we
bukta?
use. Hey, I do the baking here. When I bake, I'll tell you what I bake.
Told her.
When there's snow on the ground around here, I sit right there and I bake. And I make at least anywhere from 70 to 90 kolachki. And either the Makava kolachki or the Pavlina or the, yeah.
Cheese?
Yeast, yeah.
No, cheese.
Cheese, you could
do-
Cheese
Yeah, I'm
with
trying to
poppy
think.
seed. That's the only two kinds we make.
Yeah, Pakava and
Prune?
Svaraka.
What is
Svaraka.
that?
No, baravka, that's cheese.
Oh,
Svaraka.
that's cheese.
That's
Oh,
cheese.
okay.
Svaraka.
What
I
do you-
always gotta do a little thinking because somebody will say something to me in English and try to translate it to them to Bohemian. It's pretty hard to do. Like somebody asks me something about a soup or something. Sometimes in Chesky, I'll know what it is in Chesky, but then to translate it back into English, it's very hard for me. I gotta stop and think for a while. What is the hardest one I always had was Krobova Polivka. Kropa.
Oh,
Kropa.
barley soup.
Barley. And
Yeah.
that always used to be hard for me to think of when somebody used to say to me, barley, and
Do you make it?
I knew it with scopa. And what I miss the most is, you miss it too, is Italiense.
No, I don't make
And
it.
Yeah, me.
You didn't? And
It-
Italiense
I have to be
politica.
very hungry before I ate that.
Italiense is Czech sausage,
Sausage.
Yeah,
and it's
That's a pork
they
sausage.
fry it up like in a pan.
Yeah.
yeah.
What it is, I'll tell you what it is, how they make it. They take the pig's head and they boil it and take the skin and the meat off the pig's head. They take the pig's tongue. They also take part of the liver and they grind all this up with bread, dried bread. Grind it all up and they put, here we go again.
Cropi, barley.
Barley in it. And then they make it in sausage. They have this casing, and which they put it in, and then they cook it. They boil it in water, and then they'll put it out for you to eat it. But before you eat it, you either fry it to get it to be brown like the thing is. And boy, that's out of this one. That's out. You have that with sauerkraut and a beer, and you're in heaven. That rye bread, beer, and that, you're in heaven.
That's,
You're in heaven.
you either really, really like that, or you
Yeah.
really, really don't like it.
Yeah.
There's no like in between.
There's a lot of Chesky meals that people look at you and put their nose up. Now the one what I like, very good, and I make it here for myself, she doesn't eat it. It's churiki. You know what churiki is? You don't even know what that is.
No, I don't know that one.
That's pig knuckles cooked in sauerkraut
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
dumpling, all in one pot.
Yes, I know
Smells
that one.
really good, but
That's shuriki.
I'm trying
That's the name of
my
that.
grandmother used to make galdon. You know what galdon is?
Yeah.
That's the chicken pieces, the head and the feet and the
Right.
all cooked up with rice and everything. I like the rice, but you can keep that other stuff.
Well, just like we talk, years ago, when we were kids and everything, nothing ever was thrown away. They made soup or something out of everything there was, out of the chicken, the pigs, everything. There never was anything thrown away. You ate it.
And you always ate well. Didn't you eat good?
Yep.
There was always chicken, or ducks,
Yeah.
or venison, or
Yeah.
rabbits, or fish, or there's always, and there was always a garden with fresh vegetables, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, everybody always
Everybody
had
had
a
their
garden. Right.
And the ladies always had a small flower garden outside
Yeah.
too, right? And you always ate good.
And then the women, if you remember the ducks, used to pick the feathers for feather beds.
and they
Make
made pillows.
feather beds out of them,
Yes,
sure.
in the bathtub.
Yeah, make feather beds.
what did you call those things, Stanley?
Uh,
They had a name. Those
Beijing.
nice feather beds.
Pegina.
Yeah,
Pegina. That was a pegina.
because that was as light as a feather.
Oh, I love
Kept
it.
you warm, but it was as light as a
Love it.
feather, yeah. it
Well,
was
you
a
put a
feather.
pegina, you didn't have to put nothing else on top of you. That
Toasty
that
warm.
was it.
Okay,
You ready? So,
So are you satisfied now,
I'm
Dee?
very satisfied.
so
And do you think
we'll
this is all
slice
right?
up some
It's fantastic.
marinade
It's
here.
Great. Yeah.
Anybody got anything else they want to ask Stanley before we have our buchtas?
You want a piece of mukta?
I sure do.
I'm gonna do my name.
I'm not gonna
Annette-
pass that up. I
Annette
haven't had a
coffee.
buchta probably in 25 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a.
Here, let me, you want me to bring it closer to
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So, bukta.
Buchta.
Buchta.
Here's buchta.
Oh, we're just gonna put the bottle on the table? Okay.
Is this a recipe that was handed down? Or is it just a generic recipe?
It's a generic recipe
Oh.
that you got from a Czech cookbook.
Oh, it looks good.
Chesky recipe.
And that's
And
mock,
This one
or
is this
that's,
is the one I put jelly in.
that one is jelly, and this one is
Got it.
mock or
I'm
poppy
gonna have
seed.
spoons, right? I don't know who uses sugar.
Okay.